Guys, it's Mackenzie Shuman. So I'm going to talk to you guys about tuition costs and why they're so high and how they could be lowered. But if you're lucky enough to be an in-state resident, you only have to pay about $28,491 a year. Minus all the unnecessary stuff, that comes down to just $10,522 in just tuition and fees. If you're an out-of-state student like me, you're lucky enough to pay $46,067 a year. Take away all the unnecessary stuff again, and that comes out to about $27,372 a year. Anyway, so the big question is, where does this money go exactly? Why is tuition cost so high? I broke down a lot of numbers for you guys, laid it out so that we could figure out why this is a problem and why students are coming home with more and more debt every single year. So at ASU, there are about 82,060 students physically enrolled in the university. This covers all of the campuses. So in total, this ends up adding up to about $1,157,500,000 coming straight from student tuition and fees. However, this is not the only amount of money that the university receives. They also receive about $508 million in grants, $523,600,000 in mysterious other funds, $292,700,000 in taxes from the state of Arizona. So this is a lot. This all adds up to about $2 billion. This is just per year that Arizona State University receives. So this is how much money they are earning, basically. Like if Arizona State University was a person, their paycheck would be $2 billion. I mean, wow. However, Arizona State University also spends a large amount of money. To break it down, they spend about $1 billion in academics. $745 million of this goes to faculty and staff salaries, so they get paid. They also give a certain amount of money to research. They also give $266 million to student services. They spend a little over $200 million on auxiliary and depreciation. Those are things that are like assets that the university spends money on. They also spend about $108 million on the operation of the university. So that's things like building costs, heating, I don't know why I said heating, cooling of the building, and facility management basically in general. And then there's scholarships and grants. This amounts to about $152 million that Arizona State University awards to its students every single year. That's a lot of dough. And then Arizona State University also spends about $76 million on costs that I could not find any answer to what those costs were. $76 million is spent somewhere doing something. Probably just buying ice cream from Michael Crow. However, if you're a genius at math like me, you would realize that the total cost that Arizona State University receives and then spends, they don't add up. In fact, the Arizona State University still comes away with about $301 million extra. Now, where these funds are being placed, I don't know. I have a few theories. While I was researching, trying to find out where this $301 million extra dollars went, I found out that the Buse Law School actually cost $129 million. Now that's a lot of money for a building. And then there's the football coach. He earns about $1.3 million a year. That's without all the extra bonuses he gets if our football team makes it to a playoff game or to a semi-final or any conference, whatever those are. And then there's Michael Crow. Did you know that the president of our university earns about $900,000 a year? That means that Michael Crow could pay for about 18 kids to go to college every year at Arizona State University. Now, a lot of people think that high tuition rates are good because high tuition rates mean better education, better resources, and prettier buildings for students, okay? But really, is it worth it? So I have 3 proposals on how we could lower college tuition rates. First being to provide a better way to determine college quality. With little information available about college quality, high price is one of the ways colleges signal to potential students that it offers high quality education. The federal government should require college accreditors to make public the information that they collect on how well colleges actually do their job, meaning that students don't have to look at tuition costs to determine how well a university does its job. My second proposal is to incentivize colleges to use technology to drive down their costs. Some colleges would like to limit their costs, but they have no idea where to begin. Technological advances in data management, online courseware, and e-textbooks can dramatically reduce spending if only they're implemented well. My third proposal is to start scrutinizing colleges on how they spend their money. In the debate over for-profit colleges, many legislators were outraged that a school would spend the bulk of the federal money it receives on shareholder profits or marketing rather than education. But we actually know very little about how colleges spend the federal financial aid and research dollars they receive. This money that is received from the federal and state governments should be used purely for educational purposes only. Overall, a massive reconstruction on how colleges spend their money should be implemented immediately, thus saving students like yourselves thousands of dollars each year. Education should be something that we are excited to partake in, not something that gnaws our guts because of the looming student debt it creates.